Christ's Letters. Continuation of Letter 2, Day 16 of my reading and recording of Christ's Letters. Do nothing with a heavy heart, because a heavy heart is what you will continue to have. Give everything with joyous spirit, that everything in your life may bring to you only joy and spiritual insight. A man commented, "This is against man's nature. It is natural to be anxious about the future. Clothes are expensive, food is not easily come by, life is a constant struggle." I answered him in a loud voice because he was only saying what he knew most of my listeners were thinking. But you do not know for sure that tomorrow you will be struggling to live. You do not know that tomorrow you won't have a splendid job or any other wonderful thing come your way. You do not know this, but you are making very sure for yourself that there will not be a marvelous job or some other wonderful opportunity in your life because you are creating the circumstances of your tomorrows. He was angry. I am? How am I doing that? Have I not just told you? I turned to the people laughing. Tell me, how has this man up front in the red cloak created his tomorrows? The crowd was silent. Then a very young man, Mark, shouted to me, I know. He said he would be struggling to buy food and clothes. You have told us that what we think and talk about is what we will get. Exactly, I said. You are a very clever boy. You have understood. Take care that you do not create for yourself the things that you do not want. And I will be happy for you to become my disciple when you are older and your parents will let you go. Some of the people laughed, but some did not. I could see that they did not believe a word I was saying. You will never enter the kingdom of heaven by being anxious. If you are having a hard time today, why moan about it? Will it make you feel better if you go about complaining? Will your crying brighten your day? And if you are anxious about your tomorrows, you are making your tomorrows burdensome and weary even before you get to them. Why do it? What good will it do for you? When did anxiety ever accomplish anything for you? You might as well try to make yourself taller by being anxious that you are short. No, do not dwell on the things you do not have. Dwell on the things which can be yours if you turn to the Father within you and ask in perfect faith, believing you will receive. And I tell you without fear of contradiction that you will receive. But you must ask properly, believing. You will receive nothing if you ask, but at the same time, wonder whether you have been heard or whether the Father will feel like giving you what you want. This is the human way of giving, but not the way of the Father, which gives abundantly and fulfills your needs. The Father always pours its gift out upon you, gifts of food in plenty, clothes, house, friends, providing you yourself have a clean heart and mind, and providing you constantly rely on the Father as your moment-by-moment support. If you pray and do not receive, do not for one moment think it is because there is no Father, or the Father does not listen to you. Rather, you must ask yourselves what is in you that is preventing the Father love work being done in and for you. If you go to the altar to pray or offer a gift, and on the way there you remember that you have quarreled with someone, turn around and go to that person and make your peace with him. Then, when you approach the Father in prayer, you will have a clean and pure mind, and you will be heard by the Father, and the Father will be able to respond, giving you all you need in the peace and quietness of your being. If you still cannot believe that the Father cares for each creation, look about you at the radiant flowers in the fields. How beautiful they are! Consider the brilliant thought which has gone into their design, their beauty. Where will you find the colors that you see in their petals? With all his wisdom, Solomon himself was not able to have such beautiful clothes made for himself. See the way the flowers attract the bees, and the bees help to bring next season's seeds, to make your world beautiful and to give you food. Why can you not believe and trust in the Father when the world around you is planned, designed, and cared for in such a wonderful way? But remember, these living plants and trees, unlike mankind, cannot complain about their lot and see themselves as hungry and naked, and so they do not undo the work the Father does in them. It is with your continual complaining and talking about what you lack, your aggression toward each other, your insistence on retribution, your criticism and slandering, which makes your lack and your sickness consistent day after day. I have told you all these things to prepare you who are sick for healing. You cannot be healed unless you believe with all your hearts that healing will take place. Remember that sickness of the body arises from an illness within the mind, such as your bad temper, resentments, angers, hatreds. Father love is the source of all health. Therefore, all thoughts and feelings contrary to Father love bring sickness. Just as all your evils and sickness begin in the mind, so does your good. Have as much care for your neighbor as you have for yourself. Bless your neighbor when you have an argument. Pray for him when he is harsh with you. Help him out in any way you can at all times, even if he turns his face from you, because then you are constructing good in your mind and thoughts, and good will be the harvest of your sowing. Not only this, you are bringing your mind into harmony and attunement with the Father within you, which is perfect love. Under these conditions, the Father can do its perfect love work in you. When I had finished speaking, the people brought their sick to me, and according to their faith were they healed. Letter 3 will describe more of Christ's teachings and explain the events leading to his crucifixion and death. He describes in poignant detail his Last Supper with his disciples when he found himself alone in spirit because his disciples, till the last, refused to believe he would be crucified. Repeatedly, he was misunderstood, and he realized again how little he had managed to teach anyone during his 3 years of missionary work. He was glad to be living. Christ's Letter 3. In this letter, Christ continues with his life incidents, teachings, his awareness that his time on earth was to be cut short by crucifixion, the things he did to arouse the anger of the Jewish religious leaders, what really took place and was said at the Last Supper, the disciples' attitudes, and the truth concerning his ascension. Please note how to read these letters. Since these letters take you into a spiritual, mental dimension transcending the human plane of activities and concerns, they will be best absorbed if preceded by a time of stillness and relaxation. Quieten your minds, if possible, going into a state of inner silence of thought. It is only when you are in this completely receptive state that these letters will penetrate your human thought with their reality. Number 1. My boundless celestial love impels me to return. My boundless celestial love impels me to return again and again to write to mankind with the intention that finally, as many you who are ready to receive it will possess the knowledge which will enable you to transcend your humanhood and merge into Father consciousness, the true love consciousness in which are realized all things bountiful and beautiful. As I have said previously and want to repeat, my entire mission on earth was prompted by love and was directed only at teaching the truth of existence. For without this knowledge, there is no hope of redemption from the travail which mankind is born to endure. I know this statement will bring much grief to sincere and dedicated followers of the Christian religion and those who have centered their entire faith on the person of Jesus. But I tell you truly, to succeed in ridding yourselves of the humanhood which holds you back from the full realization of universal truth and the understanding of the true nature of the spiritual human condition I termed the kingdom of God, you must turn away from the old dogmas of salvation by the blood of the Lamb, the Trinity, and other beliefs, and come with perfectly open, receptive minds to the truth of existence. No other salvation is possible. God cannot save you, since, in ignorance of the facts of existence, mankind will continue to make the same earthbound mistakes till the end of time, thus creating his own sickness and misery. Furthermore, no matter what a man's belief may be in regard to salvation from sins, this is a human fallacy, since the law of cause and effect is imponderable and an intrinsic, inherent, natural characteristic of existence. You cannot divorce effects from causation, nor can you erase causation and still have effects. In every level of being, this is truth. Number 2. The fundamental impulses of existence and human consciousness. You may now be sufficiently advanced in your thinking to be able to receive the following fundamental truth concerning your earthly existence. The law of cause and effect, reaping and sowing, is the visible effect of what you call electromagnetism, and no one who has any knowledge of science would expect God to set aside the laws of electromagnetism, which are those of activity, bonding, rejection. Activity, bonding, rejection, or movement, attraction, repulsion, are the fundamental impulses of existence and of human consciousness itself, which have brought about your visible forms in life and are the only instruments or tools of creation. They are responsible for the formation of substance or matter, and also for the development of individualized forms, and finally of personality itself in all living entities. Since these laws are fundamental to your individualized existence, it is impossible to set them aside. Therefore, you cannot ignore the problems inherent in your individualized existence and believe that God will save you from them. Your only hope of final escape, of stepping off the treadmill of human experience, is to recognize and acknowledge them and then work minute by minute to transcend them and eventually merge in purity of mind, heart, and action and become one with universal love consciousness, the Father, which does the love work. At the same time, as you grow in awareness of the true nature of the Father within you and transcending you and all around you, you will come to have undeviating faith that in every circumstance you can draw upon the inspiration, power, and upliftment directly from the Father within and around you. You will come to know it is really the Father which supports and guides you into the kingdom of Father love consciousness. Thank you, I love you, and may God bless you. See you tomorrow. Bye!